hello. Now we're not on microphone yet.
All right, we're going to go call to order the Exeter Township Board of Supervisors meeting dated March 10th, 2025. All please rise to pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
Wow.
Roll call, Township Manager.
Ms. Kircher.
Here.
Mr. Ham. Here. Mr. Bell.
Here.
Mr. Pyho, Vice Chairperson.
Here.
Mr. Mohammed, Chairperson.
Here.
All present tonight.
Thank you. Agenda amendments. Do we have any agenda amendments proposed today?
I have none.
Don't seem to be having any. All right, moving on next to announcements. I'd like to announce that the Board of Supervisors had an executive session just prior to this meeting. That executive session discussed personnel and public safety issues. All right, moving on to public comments on agenda items. We have one. Bob, and you have to, Hoffman, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Bob Hoffman, right there.
I'm trying to figure out the last name.
Oh, I could have told you.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Hoffman, obviously from Exeter Township. I rise in support of the new fire station that's on the agenda tonight. I know there's been a lot of comments on social media that people have their hair on fire, so to speak, about increase in taxes. But having seen many municipal complexes, including fire stations throughout Delaware, Chester, Montgomery County, they're like the Taj Mahal compared to what we have. It's also difficult to attract and maintain new firefighters when you're asking them to stay on the second floor of a 100-year-old building and the facilities are not modernized. So despite some dissension, I think it's desperately needed in this township. And if there's some way that we can put it together, I encourage the supervisors to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. I'm seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda with its two items. One, the minutes from February 24th, 2025, Board of Supervisors, and two, the disbursement from March 10th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion?
I have none.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 5-0 vote. Zoning and planning. Joe.
Yes, the first item, or the only item on this evening, is a motion to approve Resolution 2025-13 for the land development of the Lorraine Nursery. This resolution's in reference to a sewer planning module. This is a proposed apartment complex consisting of 216 units. It's currently under review by the Planning Commission. The Board of Supervisors has granted a conditional preliminary plan approval. We anticipate that the final plans will be on our agenda next Monday evening. However, the DP requires that a municipality adopt a resolution for their sewer planning module. They did apply for an exemption. However, they were denied, even though Pennsylvania American owns the sewer line. The DP still requires that a municipality does take action on this. We do have a representative in Neil, I think we do. Yes, Nicole Gambone. She represents, she's from Ebert Engineering. She's responsible for the actual planning module, and she's able to answer any questions that the board may have or give a little bit more of an insight on the reasoning why this planning module needs to be approved this evening. Do you want to come up to the stand, please?
I'd like to know more, too. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, so, yes, we are both here on behalf of the Lorraine Tract, and it's apartment complex within, on Lorraine Road in Exeter Township, and it is consisting of 6 apartment buildings with 36 units in each, so 216 apartment units, and then a clubhouse. So yes, as Joseph mentioned, the DEP does require this as part of the sewage facilities planning module process, that the Board of Supervisors pass a resolution by adoption for every project within the township. So if anyone has any questions further, if you would like me to explain further.
One thing I wanted to add, Pennsylvania American did approve the additional flow of sewage to their treatment plants, so that has been reviewed and approved by their office.
Okay, Joe, that was my first question.
I failed to mention that.
Yeah, you looked at me, you knew I was going to ask
Yes.
that. I'm curious, because we've already approved, and I read Jason's write-up, he did a great job as usual, but I still admit, I'm kind of puzzled of why we actually had to do a resolution when we've already approved the plans.
My understanding, and correct me if wrong, you did apply for an exemption, correct? And DEP
Yes.
denied you that exemption?
Yes,
So when they denied an exemption, they want a full-fledged planning module, which is about 100 and some pages long. And they still require, even though we don't own the system itself, they still require that the municipality sign off and approves it. That's a DEP regulation. My guess would be is DEP might have some concern because of those consent orders that the treatment plant has with the interceptor and so forth that are being addressed by PA American. However, DEP still required a full-fledged planning module to be submitted.
And that was the part that I didn't understand, because
Essentially-
PA American controls.
Right. No, it's a legit question because since we don't own it, however, DEP still requires that the municipality acknowledge by resolution that they approve the planning module.
Okay.
Ultimately, yes, you're correct. It is PA American. They'll be responsible. They did verify that the EDUs and the flows and so forth. However, this is a regulation that is required as part of the planning module, and there is a standard resolution form that DEP provides for the municipality to execute.
Okay, thank you.
yes, yep.
Anybody else? I guess my only question would be, and it's probably not relevant to your module here, but if it materializes and you guys are to connect to the sewer, where and whereabout you would connect to that public sewer system?
We're a gravity connection.
Okay.
So it's sort of, do you know the exact manhole or no? I don't know the exact.
You don't have to be exact. I'm just looking at which roads would be disturbed during the operation, that's all.
We're actually, I think we can do it without. It's between us and over by, I believe between us and Home Depot, like down sort of by the creek side there.
I don't know, yes, I don't know the exact manhole, but yes, it does connect into the system, and it is going to be conveyed to the Schuylkill River Interceptor for ultimate conveyance to the wastewater treatment plant
Got it.
in Exeter.
Thank you, guys. All right, we'll circle back to it. Seeking a motion to approve resolution number 2025-13 for land development of Lorraine Nursery. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Must be my turn to second.
All right, any other discussion?
Not at this time, but
All in favor, please say aye.
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 I vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to administration. Bill, you're taking this one?
Yes, I'll take this one. Like the board to consider a motion to approve the site location for a new fire EMS station. The proposed site is along Gibraltar Road at the former police canine training area.
Okay. Okay. Any question for Bill?
Is that, no? No, you didn't do the motion
Yeah,
yet.
we're not motioning yet.
Okay.
We're having just a separate discussion beforehand.
Okay, yeah, then it's more of a comment, Mr. Chairman, is, first off, I'm fine with the motion in the K-9 area, because I see all the fire guys and all here. My concern is the overall master plan or the planning that we're actually going to hopefully approve under number 2. And that's my only comment on this item.
Got it. Any other comments? I'll just, for the public records, the current K-9 training facility has been relocated and it's fully operational, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so we're circling back to it now. We're seeking a motion to approve site location for a new fire EMS station. The proposed site location is the former K-9 training area along Gibraltar Road. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0 vote. Bill, you want to grab the other one?
Yes. The second item under administration is, I'd like to get a motion to authorize the township manager to continue to engage with KCBA architects for the design, engineering, and construction of a fire station, or, if warranted, create and advertise a request for proposal for a new fire station.
Okay.
KCBA has, after an RFP, has done significant work on both fire station and general municipal complex that we're looking at. So they already have a lot of information, research, and there probably is no need to start all over again. So we're looking to authorize the township manager to consider KCBA to continue the effort right now solely with the fire station project.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, a question for the manager.
Certainly.
Thank you. Bill?
Yes,
Would this, from your seat, would this motion include in the, let me see with the wording here, to continue to engage, would that include potential affiliate firms that KCBA may be affiliated with or worked with in the past under this motion, or strictly KCBA?
no, yeah, the architect generally, after the design and engineering phase, would themselves put out a bid for construction, and then they would
So
get the,
so under this authorization, thank you, if there was another firm that had expertise that works with KCBA, that was part of that process, this motion would be allowing that to happen?
yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Correct.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I believe KCBA and its subs. So
Subs
there's
is what I'm
a
really looking at
A
for.
sub that is affiliated with KCBA,
Okay.
assuming that they will work out all right for the future, for the near future, and we don't need to put an RFP out.
Very good. And to remove any ambiguity, there's a potential cost savings
Yes.
on an affiliated company, which is what I'm trying to make sure we are maximizing the
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah,
So,
I agree, George. KCBA would be the lead.
Very good. Then I'm cool.
Probably a better way of saying it.
Yeah, thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
Any other discussion, guys?
Fine,
right. We're going to circle back to it. We're seeking a motion to authorize the township manager to continue to engage with KCBA architects for the design, engineering, and construction of the fire station, or, if warranted, create and advertise request for proposal for the new fire station. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. 5-0 vote. All right, last one, Bill.
Last one is we're seeking a motion to approve a one-year service agreement renewal with ITC Global Networks in the amount of $11,476.20 for all township phone line services.
Okay.
So this will be payable monthly, $956.35 plus any applicable taxes.
Okay. Okay. Seeking a motion to approve one-year service agreement renewal with ITC Global Networks in the amount of $11,476.20 for all the township four-line services. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I got one question. I apologize for not asking this ahead of time before the meeting, but sales tax is listed in here. Are we required as a municipal government to pay sales tax?
That's what I'm wondering too. I would think we're exempt from that, so.
What I thought, or at least I'm asking.
And I think Bill mentioned that if the taxes are applicable, so I think potentially we need to go back and recheck that number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Good question.
That's, yeah.
All right. So we'll go back to it. Without any other discussion, guys?
I have none.
Okay. All right, so all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Joe, sir, I apologize, I forgot
Okay.
to let you know that you could leave.
Okay, that's fine, thank you, thank you.
And I forgot to remind you.
Yep. I got a reminder from the left side.
From the left side.
Yes.
I like the company.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Joe.
since I got the reminder from Chad, and Mr. Solicitor, would you like to report?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I just want to mention one item for tonight. We had a little bit of an update with respect to the Promenade property. So as the board knows, we entered into an agreement with the Berks County Redevelopment Authority to help get that property sold. And if it sells for, well, it would be selling for over $3 million. And if it sells for over $3.3 million, we would split any revenue on top of that 50/50. While things were looking very, very optimistic, there was a buyer lined up. That particular sale did not go through. There were some issues in terms of some of the requirements under the Redevelopment Authority law that could not be waived. So the RDA is currently looking for a new buyer for the property, and so they are continuing to market it and continuing to try to get that property sold and get some revenue here for the township for that property. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Works. Larry?
So at Pineland Park, we're looking to put in a new camera system for that park, since we have the new building and everything else like that. And our camera system we have there now is pretty much either not working or stuff is basically, we're looking to replace it. And we did budget this year for $15,000. We did have a quote from Alarm Tech, which is a CoStar's vendor, for $10,197. With that, as you can see, the packet that you received, it's for all new cameras, new MVR or DVR for inside the building. With the additional money, we're hoping to run a lot of the conduit because we want to do lighting, since we're taking the lighting down from Community Park to add there. So it is budgeted for 15. The cameras are coming in at 10, and I think if we could buy the excess material to do other things, that'd be great. So for right now, though, I'm asking for approval for the new camera system for Pineland Park at a cost of $10,197.
Okay. Circling back to it, seeking a motion to approve proposal from Alarm Tech System in the amount of $10,197 to supply and install IP video surveillances system at Pineland Park. Do I have a motion?
I will make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I got one question for Larry. I know this can be monitored. Is there is it just going to be taped, or do you have plans in the future to possibly monitor it as, like we monitor everything else?
Yes, basically what we're doing now is all the fiber optics have been ran to all our parks, except for our Dunn Center. It hasn't been ran there yet. It was a donation by Service Electric to do that. So once we have that and we have everything hooked up, there will be TVs in our police department to monitor some of our parks that has that hookup, so, and plus here at the township building.
Okay, thank you.
I think it should be noted, too, that that's going to be completely for handicap, correct?
No, that's the one that we're applying for the grant for Trout Run. We're applying for an all-inclusive playground for there. That grant is due April 1st, that Joe Rogowski has been helping us great with that, so.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 5-0. Okay.
All right, the next thing is Landis Mechanical's maintenance contract is up, and that's for all our buildings here at the township, including the library. It doesn't include the country club anymore, since we don't own that. And it comes to a grand total for all of them, for all the services, which is the ambulance building across the street, the mechanic shop, the building that we're in now, plus the police department, the Dunn Center, and the library. It comes to a grand total of $15,341 for the year. They are also a CoStarz vendor.
Okay. Circling back to it, seeking a motion to approve the proposal from Landis Mechanical in the total amount of $15,314 for HVAC maintenance program.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I have some questions.
Absolutely.
So, one, Larry, were they the only respondent, or did we just go to them directly?
Basically, we've just been dealing with them directly for over the years. They're the ones that either install our equipment or actually knows what shape our equipment's in. As you know, I did budget for a new unit on the roof of this building here, which on the roof of this building here, there's probably about 4 units. The unit that I did budget for this year is about 30 years old. So,
I get it. I think we've done business with them in the past. I've seen that.
yes.
But, and also, I think they're a good firm.
They do have the book. I
Yeah.
mean, they got the book on. They took everything apart and got serial numbers. They can everything.
Now, I believe them to be probably a good choice. One
Right.
other thing, there
And
are,
also in the attachment too, that I don't know if we received it, they did an inventory list of all our units and everything that.
so the only thing, then, my only remaining question is, there's like 18-point terms, which seems like, on some level, like 17 points too many. So I would just want to make sure that Chad read it, because there's some stuff in there that we're saying we're doing.
Right.
Okay, so could we possibly make it contingent on making sure you had, or maybe you already did it, sorry, but there's like a lot of terms here.
I haven't looked at it, but happy to make it
But would you,
contingent upon.
could we just do it that way? My inquiries,
Okay.
if that's okay with
Yeah, yeah.
the motion or whoever that was.
So,
Yeah,
we'll-
if that could be that way.
yeah. We'll read it, that motion to approve the proposal from Landis Mechanical in the total amount of $15,341 for HVAC maintenance program contingent on the township solicitor making a review and final recommendation. We have 2 motions already, or do we go
Well,
back?
You got one, ask Clarence if he's okay with the amended.
I'm still okay with it.
And then,
You're okay
Michelle.
with the amended,
Yes.
okay?
there you go.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Yes, I had, or do you have?
No,
Jordan?
no, I'm good.
Okay, I got one. Larry, I know this is a maintenance agreement. There's not defined for parts. There's no definition for the parts, or the parts and the labor to install the parts in addition. I didn't see that in the fine print.
Yeah, so that's what we've been doing in the past is basically they come out and maintain it twice a year and stuff like
Right.
that and take care of all that stuff. But anything that the unit would need, we would be billed for it.
Right, okay. I just want to make sure I understood, because I did not see that
Right.
in there.
Now, we do have some units that are under warranty, like the unit that we did replace the side of the 30-year-old one on the roof now. We did replace that one. So that one's still under warranty, and there's a couple other ones that are still under warranty too. Like at the Dunn Center, I believe there's some. And the
Okay, thank-
library, there's one at the library.
Okay, thank you.
Total of 4 at the library, but one was replaced 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
There's a couple.
so.
Okay, that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion?
I have none.
Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0. This is a contingent vote.
All right.
All right.
All right, the next thing on the list here is I have 2 items I'd like to sell on municipal bid. One is a 99 Honda Accord with 199,000 miles on it. It was used for different things with the police. It's time to retire it. Best way to describe it. It needs a lot of things just to keep it running. So I talked with the chief, and he agreed that we would need to let that vehicle go on municipal bid. Plus, it was already replaced with the other vehicle that they got not too long ago.
Okay. Then you
And the
have
next thing is, we have a long boom mower that we did replace it with a new one last year. We've been using it the past couple weeks here. It's actually been working out really well. It's actually even doing more because we wanted to see, because it's a different head than what we have on our old one. So since everything's been working out really well and the operator loves it, I figured there's no sense keeping the old one around, so I was asking for approval to sell that one.
Okay. All right, we're circling back to it. Motion to approve selling items on municipal bid. First one is a 1999 Honda Accord with 199,000 miles. And then the other one is a 2008 New Holland T6030 tractor long boom mower. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion?
No.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0 vote.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to police report.
Hi, good evening, Chairman.
Evening.
I'd just like to report, on March 3rd of this year, we had a truck inspection detail from 7 a.m. till 12. This is something that we're really good at. This is big. We have, we're the only police department in Pennsylvania that has a permanent weight and motion scale. We have several officers that are trained in truck inspections, and we also check vehicles that are overweight. You ask me why we do these truck details. Truck details enhance the roadway safety. If the road trucks are going down the roadway safer, it's going to make everyone else safer. We ensure that trucks, commercial vehicles are in good working condition. We make sure the drivers are in good standing, check their licenses, and make sure that they're not driving for more than the required 12 hours in a day. Compliance, make sure all the trucks and drivers are in compliance with the state regulations. The goal is to prevent accidents and roadway safety. We check all the documents of the vehicle. We check the interior and exterior of the trucks. We check the cargo, make sure it's secure, and check the brake systems. And there's many other things we check, but that's just the main components. In that 5-hour period, we inspected 27 vehicles. We had 99 violations in that. We weighed 7 trucks. 5 of them were overweight, a total of 33 citations in the overweights. So in that period of 5 hours, we wrote 110 citations, and the fine money was a total of $27,394. I'd like to give a special thanks to the officers that conducted the detail. They do an excellent job, and also I'd like to thank the fire police, Greg Moll, Russ George, and Karen George, for their help in directing traffic. They come here and they do a lot of work for a little, so that's very, very kind of them to come out here, so it's a huge help for us. But that's the summary of our truck detail. I'd just like to give a shout out to Detective Richard McClure. He retired last week, 32 years of service. I asked Detective McClure to come here tonight so we could honor him, and he declined it. He's very humble. He just said, time for me to move on. But I'd like to publicly shout out to him. I'd just like to give you a little bit about Rick. His mom was an Exeter police officer and retired from the police department. She was here when I first started. His dad was a retired trooper, PSP, and his brother is an officer in Reading, city of Reading. So he comes from a family of police officers. He was here for 32 years. He was a detective over 20 of those years, and he specialized in our evidence room. He made that evidence room it's completely like perfect. You walk in there, it's organized, detailed. We do 4 or 5 inspections a year. When we did accreditation, it was inspected, and he is really something that he took on at a young age and made that evidence room amazing. If you all know Rick, he's very, has a sense of humor, and that will be severely missed. And I learned a lot from Rick. He was a great officer, great detective, and I just want to give him a shout out, so.
We certainly thank his service.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, moving on to manager's report. Mr. Bill Hine.
Yeah, returning to the fire theme, I'd like to let you know that the fire chief, our finance team, and I are researching funding options for the building of a new fire station, including bank loans, bonds, so that we can give some recommendations to the board to move forward on that project. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to supervisor's report, and I usually like to go this way, so I'll start with Supervisor's Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just have 2 things for this evening. One was on in anybody, I'd open it up to anybody here if the name rings a bell, but the first is regarding PA American Water. There is a gentleman, his name is Seth Rolko, R-O-L-K-O. He's an attorney, Seth Rolko, for PA American Water. Apparently his title is Senior Manager of Government Affairs, and his number is a local number to Exeter. So he at least periodically is in the area. But it appeared to be his take that our issue was a bit of a one-off type issue. Like, I don't believe the gravity of our water rate situation is fully understood, but he has advised that he is the go-to on this. So what I was thinking, since I now have his contact information, that maybe we could forward. So first of all, I couldn't find his name on any of the testimony we gave, so that's part of it. So if he already heard it, but based on this conversation that I was not first party to, I don't believe he was. But the point I'm trying to make is one of 2 reasons I'm bringing this up. One reason would be maybe we could have him come talk to us, because I do have his information, so I could forward it to Bill, and we can maybe invite him here to talk to us, or even phone in, or in some way dialogue with him. But as a corollary to that, because I think it's not fully understood the scale of the pain in Exeter. The second thing is, the second reason for bringing it up, though, we have testimony, sworn testimony, both by Board of Supervisor members and the public that we have collated already. So maybe at the very least, I also have his email. We could email him what we went through last year, because if there's something to be said, as I said before, it's a hard thing to solve, but if Mr. Rolko isn't even aware of the scale, I doubt any action's going to happen. So, and since he comes through the area, we might as well eliminate it as a next step, one way or the other. So I was wondering if maybe we could start by sending him the testimony, which I also don't have a copy of, but I'm sure a counselor does. Maybe we could start by that. It seems like a low-cost way of sharing the resident feedback, and maybe we can see if there's some type of conversation to be had, either public or not. Is that fair?
Fair.
So, and I'll make sure you have it. I have it on my phone. I'll share it.
Can you send that to me? Because I have a meeting with 3 people from Pennsylvania American Water on Wednesday.
Because a reliable person shared this information with me, but I was not present. But he said any complaint, this buck stops with him. So, I mean, I don't want to today I'm not trying to publish his information. What I'm trying to do is have a consolidated roll-up of the information so we can move the dial here. So I will make sure you have it before I leave tonight. So that was item 1. Item 2, so sometimes I have fun in social media, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the mood I'm in for that given day. But I did notice something on social media, which I didn't particularly care for, but it was, from my view only, you're allowed to voice whatever you want on social media, but from my view, it was a little bit of a unnecessary shot at a board member. So I just wanted to take a moment and highlight one of our board members' accomplishments so far. I don't think he knows, well, that rules you out.
Yeah.
And I said, you're off, not you. You're not the lucky winner tonight. But I would like to just make a few points on behalf of Clarence's contribution to this township, okay? So one thing maybe not everybody knows is prior to being a Board of Supervisor member, Clarence's service to the township was at least 34 years, maybe 35. So that's a 3.5 decade of dedicated service to the township. And that's a long time. So I just want to illuminate that. So dedication to the township, 34 years, not just of residence, but service to the township. But before that, Clarence is a U.S. Navy veteran, so he was giving back to his country before he was giving back to the township. And then lastly, this is before I was on the board, but it's my understanding, Clarence, you were pretty instrumental, maybe the go-to on overseeing the Exeter Library project, the building of the library. So I just wanted to kind of even out some of the information. So people will say things, that's their prerogative, but I felt it was a little bit weighted and a little bit unfair. So I wanted to just take a moment of my supervisor report and highlight, because service to the community, service to the nation, and service to practically the only thing one could do in this community, recreational-wise, is the library. I just want to say thank you for all that, Clarence. And on behalf of everybody, I didn't tell the others I was going to make that comment, but pretty sure I speak for the whole board and wanted to just acknowledge that and thank you for your service, Clarence. So,
Thank you.
Goes without saying.
but that concludes my report.
Thank you, Supervisor Bell. All right, moving on to Supervisor Kircher.
I agree that we need to do something about the water, but I want to do it so that they get the message. And I think we need to have a meeting. We need to invite all the commissioners. We need to invite our governor, our representatives.
You might want to just pause one
Yeah, we're
second.
going to pause for a second once,
I think some of our guests are going to be rolling out.
I think they got a call.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I do want to hear what you were saying, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Boy, that's terrible when you start talking and they all leave.
not intentional.
It usually happens when Jack's talking, but
Okay, can you hear me back there? Is that better? Okay. I've been through this before with the water company, American Water, and then they sold the company. But what we're paying is ridiculous. I'm one person at my house, and I'm paying over $230 a month. And I can't imagine how a family can do it. It's absolutely ridiculous. We need to make this, not just go see the representative and then give us a little nice patting on the head or so whatever and go off. We need to have the governor involved. We need to have our commissioners involved. We need to have anyone that we can think of there and demand that they show up. It's going to take a while to get, but this is ridiculous. I mean, they're holding us hostage. And that's just what it's like. What can we do? We can't do anything. So I sat through when they came and talked to us at the junior high, I guess it was, and nothing came of it. And I've worked in so many different areas with fighting the water before. I could just go on and on since I've been in the township. And I'm just advising that that's the best way. We got to do it in numbers, and we got to go yell. It's the only way we're going to get change. So that's just my comment doing it, and I'm all up for doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Ham?
Congrats to the fire company. I guess you've gotten a lot closer now, so I think you should feel pretty good. Good things to come with that. Congrats to Detective McClure on his retirement, and who
Oh,
spoke?
yeah, look, I didn't even see them. They're nice. Very nice.
Very good. That's it.
Thank you, Supervisor. Vice Chair Pine?
Yeah, I just have a couple items. First off, the Fireman's Banquet is March 22nd, and whoever might be listening to this is contact either Chris Jordan, or if you're not sure who you can contact, you can send a text or an email to me, and I'll make sure you do get in contact. But I know myself, I'm looking forward to, thanks for the invite last year. It was very, very interesting and very entertaining, so I'm looking forward to it again. The other thing is the RCC. The soft opening is Friday, March 28th. And what I mean by soft opening, that day or that evening is by invitation. The grand opening for the public occurs on Saturday, March 29th. So also, I do understand that there are still some golf memberships available out there, and you can contact Dave LaHore over there, or if you're not sure who to contact, you can look it up on their website, or again, email me or send me a text. I'll make sure that put you in contact with the right people. I must have done that 8 or 10 times in the last several months. But that's it for me. But the fire guys, I look forward to seeing all of you in a week, right? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. My March is crazy. If you look at my calendar, you know why. But see you all in a couple weeks. Thank you. And also thank you very much for your service and coming tonight.
Yes.
Okay, that leaves me last. The only thing I have to say is I'm pleased that we were, as a board, came together and we approved the 2 items for the fire department and EMS. There's absolutely no price on public safety, and we appreciate everything you guys do, and hopefully we could move and continue to move forward with this project. Okay, thank you.
There's a question in the back.
Yep, so after Supervisor's report, we're gonna move on to public comments, non-agenda items.
None.
I don't have anybody signed in, but I see a hand, so ma'am, please step up.
We didn't know if we had a sign in.
That's okay.
First meeting we've ever been at.
That's okay.
We're from, a group of us is from Penview Park,
So,
mobile home.
name and general
Yeah, pull that
address where you live.
My Cora Eager, and I live at 1231 Broadway Avenue, at Penview Park. And people that are here, there are like 6 or 7 of us. We got a bill now with our taxes, $140 for recycling. Mine's $140.
Oh, cheating.
Mine came to $140, but it comes in with the taxes. We don't mind paying it, but it comes in with our taxes, and it's right on the same bill. I think that should be separate. That's not we would like that separated, or is it mandatory that we have to have recycling come through, because half of us don't even recycle. That's a problem that I like to try to correct, because like I only put out like 2 cans a month, and I'm paying $140 now. Who's been paying this bill? When I asked her about it over at the tax place, she said that it hasn't been paid for like a long time, like 20 years. Who's been paying it, and why do they keep coming? Mascaro keeps coming here through our park and keep collecting then if they're not being paid. Now, on our, what is it?
On our tax papers.
No, help me. I can't get the word out. On our paper, it says Penview Parks pays for our trash.
Okay.
But why ain't they paying for the recycling all these years? I think they were. But the woman that was manager there, Darlene Durr, she retired, and we have a new manager now. And all of a sudden, we get this bill of $140 in with the tax. I think it should be separate. And I don't know if it's mandatory that we have to have them come through, because half of us don't even do recycling.
Yeah, it's a private property.
So we like to try to get that corrected somehow.
So,
If we can, maybe a later date or something.
thank you. Mr. Solicitor, would you like to respond?
Sure. The recycling in the township is mandatory. There's an ordinance that's on the
Okay.
books. My understanding on this situation was that it was only recently discovered that the mobile home park here had been receiving recycling services through Mascara for years,
We didn't ask them to come through.
and they never billed, apparently. After looking at this further, it was confirmed the park had not contracted privately for recycling services, which is an option. So the property owner was given the option to either provide for a community recycling program or to continue using the township's recycling services. The owner chose to continue with the township services that's been being used. And since the service has been provided, my understanding is that the recycling charges have been added to each owner's bill in accordance with the township's policy. So there is an option. I mean, the mobile home park certainly could contract privately for those services if it was so inclined. They decided to use the township services. And even though the townships, or these services for recycling have been provided for a number of years and they were never billed, once that was discovered, the bills have been going out.
Yeah, but can it be separate? We don't want it on the tax.
Taxes, really has nothing to do with because it's on people's taxes, they don't even keep up with their taxes over there. And when they see this extra thing on their taxes, it's like, wow, how am I gonna afford it? And if I don't pay it, they're gonna tag my place, my mobile home. Because, I can't afford they say I can't afford to put this extra $140 out, but I can pay my taxes.
Right. And my understanding is that all the tax bills here in Exeter have that on their tax bills, the recycling fee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just that for your
my.
particular properties, it hasn't been on there because it hasn't been billed to the individual
I
residents.
lived there
So,
32 years. I never got a bill ever.
Yeah.
In my life. And it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to know, what,
We're limited
So
income.
huh?
We're limited income. We only got
Yeah, I
Social
know.
Security.
But,
absolutely, it's been an oversight for a number of years, a
so it
long
will be
time.
on our taxes then
Yes.
even if you don't recycle.
Yep, unfortunately,
Because
yeah.
I don't recycle.
I
put
don't
mine in
either.
the trash.
I haven't
It's
since
on
I
there
lived there
because
15
it's a
years.
mandatory tax.
Yeah.
We have to-
It is mandatory then.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Mr.
Thank you for
Solicitor,
your time.
Do you mind just reciting the option if their park or
Right.
if their property manager chooses?
Yeah, so for the community itself, this particular community, the mobile home park, there's an option where they could privately contract with a company to handle the recycling, or they continue using the township services. So the reason why it's on the township's bill, the tax bill, is because the property owner has chosen to use the township's recycling services,
Well,
as opposed to
Can
contracting.
we abolish, have Mascara not come in for recycling?
That would be something you may want to contact your property manager about and discuss, because
Oh, yeah, well, that's a joke. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I will ask Darlene, not Darlene, Stacy, she took over, and her husband's the manager there too, with the park. They're good people, but I will ask her about that and see what she says.
sounds like a plan.
I don't know,
and-
because she doesn't really know what to do. I mean, she got all this put on her at the last minute when the other manager retired and
Contact Bill.
blah, blah, blah. But thank you for your time, and I hope I can correct this.
Yeah, if you want to grab Bill's contact information later on,
Okay.
to
Yeah,
explore
yeah.
that option further, if you
Yes,
wish.
yes.
All right, after the meeting, see Bill,
Okay, Bill,
yeah, our township manager.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's interesting.
that's different.
That is.
Anybody else in the audience would like to step up and provide comments? All right, hearing none. Seeking a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'm having too much fun, I guess.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Meeting adjourned.
Very good.